Hi, everyone. We are back. My name is Ann Butler, and this is my creative girlfriend, Lisa Rojas. It's opposite because I have my camera flipped, so I
Yep.
have to do it opposite. It's just weird,
It is weird. It's hard to it's
you
hard to
know,
remember.
because when I'm face view, I want my background to seem normal to me, but then when I do camera view, I do it the opposite.
Right. Right.
It's just,
It's I'm telling you, the things that we go through to do these videos every week. Oh, people just don't understand, and it's a lot.
and it changes all the
Oh,
time.
it changes all the time.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi,
Isabel,
Isabel.
you had asked a question or you had said something at the end of Lisa's video, and I had just said that to somebody, two people this week.
Hi, Becca.
And you had said, if you want something done, ask a busy person. It's so true.
Oh yeah.
It's so true. Because I said that to two people this week because they're like, are you sure? I mean, I do say no sometimes, but
No, you don't.
I've gotten better.
She has gotten better.
I have. Hi, Helen. Hey, Becca. So
Hi,
yes,
yeah.
I can totally relate to that, what you just said. And then I wanted to show everybody who was here last week my finished project. I mean, hi Gina.
Hi, Gina.
I finished my project last week, but somebody had said to do it in teal and black.
Oh yeah.
And then we liked the flat version the best. Hey, Kaylin.
Hi, Kaylin.
So I tore it all apart and did the flat version. And it is so cute.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, you did it right after your last live last week because I was talking to you while you were doing it.
I know. Isn't that cute? Oh, and on this particular hat, it has these extra holes right here. So I wrapped leather around my whole hat band and brought it up on the sides and then just put a bead on it. So
there you go.
This is like my hat for on the boat. So then I can take this down if I needed to, so I don't
lose it while you're.
Yeah, I think that just turned out so beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. It was really pretty. Well, it still is pretty, but
it was really pretty.
Yeah,
great color combination. Yes, Isabel. And then I wanted to show you guys. I mean, because I don't ever mean to complain, but I am super busy right now. I did. I'm doing projects for other magazines and other companies. I want to show you one of the projects I just finished. I have to write all the instructions. I have all the pictures done. But I do stuff for a quilting magazine. And this is my block. It's called a ribbon block.
It's called what, Ann?
A ribbon block.
Okay.
The classic ribbon block. So the pink and the yellow are the ribbons going around the star.
Jeez. That is just gorgeous.
And I would say this is not for a beginner.
Oh no.
I mean, even I was like, oh my goodness, because I got up one morning, I thought I'm going to make that quilt block. I'll have it done by noon.
I remember we talked about it.
I was up and I think I got it done at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you said you had worked on it since
7.
Yeah. 7 that morning till 5.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I did take, I ate lunch or whatever, but but that, so it is pretty, Becca. I mean, the color combination, and that color combination actually is from, I had a bunch of squares left from a baby quilt I had made my youngest daughter's daughter. Right. And it was actually Callie, my youngest daughter, when she was in high school, she picked out those color combinations. She picked out all that fabric. She was going to make a quilt and she never did. We got it all cut and she never made it. So I had all these squares. And she said, would you make Collins a quilt? And she said, but I want to change one of the colors. And I said, okay, what do you want? And she wanted black. Okay. And I went, really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
turned out so beautiful. I
Yeah,
mean, it is a stunning quilt. That was in the quilting magazine too.
yeah,
But yeah, with the black, it just framed everything up so nicely and it made
yeah.
it pop.
Yep.
It was good.
I told you when you sent me a picture of the other one this week, I was like, because I'm in such awe of quilting because my mom was a huge quilter.
Mhm.
And I told you when this past week, I said my mom would have loved this.
She would have.
Oh man, she would have been. Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
would have been calling you, going, "Okay, now explain to me how you did that." Because yeah, that would be my mother. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I don't quilt. I don't know how.
You folk quilt.
I do folk quilt. Yes, I do. I can do that.
So I did finally, I mean, I don't know why I didn't do it years ago. I mean, I have showed people how to use my stamps and how everything. But when I did this event last January, 2 months ago, I was going to offer a freebie, a giveaway, um, for anybody that signed up under a VIP. And so I created a faux quilting book. And if I can share my screen, I'm going to see if I can share my screen.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me
I
go out
will.
while you do that. Let me go out so you'll be big.
So I want to share my screen. Let me see. There. I think it's going to let me. Can you see that, Lisa? Okay, you guys can see that. Okay, so this is the cover of my book. Let me see if I can make it a little bit smaller. So it's using my stamps, and then it shows how, explains how to use them. But then inside here, it takes you step by step to complete blocks. And that is what we are going to be using as the giveaway for this week. So make sure you like, comment, and share with hashtag Bella Crafts to enter for that giveaway. I'm gonna bring Lisa back in.
Yeah, I forgot to say that for our first one.
I put it in there though.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Beatrice, my grandmother was 2, and she did embroidery squares and quilted the blankets by hand. I think that's wonderful.
My mom,
When
yeah.
I first learned how to quilt, I thought it wasn't a real quilt unless you did it by hand.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, I thought, well, if you're going to make a quilt, you gotta quilt it by hand. Oh my gosh, the back of that quilt had so many blood stains from poking my finger because it was a poke and jab method.
Yeah.
I've gotten much better. But I remember I'd take soda water and stuff to clean the back of that quilt because I poked myself more than you would want to.
Yes. And Rebecca, I am the same way. I never learned. I do know how to cross stitch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it so much anymore because it's too tedious. It's too small for my eyes. I just don't. But yeah, I mean, to quilt, because my grandmother was a quilter, my great grandmother was a quilter, my mom, and I just told my mom I did not get the sewing gene.
Well, I think you have to want to.
Yeah, and that's never been a big.
And if you don't have the interest, it isn't fun.
Yeah.
Isabel, I attended a workshop recently on English paper piecing, where we stitched together 7 fabric hexagons. It's really addictive.
Ooh.
And now I have a huge patchwork piece and it keeps growing. And English paper piecing is so beautiful, Isabel. I would love for you to share a picture.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I've done English paper piecing and it is beautiful. So
yeah, I don't know anything about that.
And on our trip, So like 30 years ago, I think I gave my husband's mother a yo-yo quilt.
Oh
They make
yeah.
all the yo-yos. And when she passed away, I got it back. And that is what she never ever had it out. I think she was afraid to have it out,
Yep.
and so she always had
It's
in
messed
a
up.
zip bag, but
Yep.
I have it in my sewing room on our day bed,
Yes, that's the one. Okay.
and it's beautiful. But
Yeah.
on our trip, I like to work on something because Mark does all the driving,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's best if I'm not watching him drive.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
making yo-yos for another quilt,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know.
I remember those. My mom did a lot of those.
Yeah.
And a lot of the dolls and stuff too. See, I went into the paper. When I found stamping, that was it. That I knew at that point that was my go-to. I mean, because I crafted with my mom all the time, but
Yeah.
general crafts. We would make a wreath together or wall hangings or, picture frames or lamps. I did a lot of lamps. And, I just got to the point where I loved doing all that. But as far as my passion, that would be stamping.
Yep.
It has been for more than half my life.
Ever since I've known you.
Yeah, over half my life. Because, my mom was like, well, what is this that you're doing? What are you working on now? So I would show. Oh, and then of course she had to have everything that I had. So,
Gina, I would love to teach you guys how to do yo-yos. Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be a perfect one. Because they're easy. And so like I worked on those, and then I also worked on some felt needle pointing because I like to or I was on my computer. My husband preferred when I wasn't on my computer. I was just sitting there working because he felt like I was relaxing more.
Yep.
Than if I was on my computer actually working, because I have hotspot, so I could work wherever. But so I always bring sewing stuff with me. Rebecca, you don't know how to make yo-yos either. Yes, I will do that.
They are simple to make. I do know how to make one.
For an upcoming live, I will plan that. Isabel, you use some Assess fabrics in your project. I haven't gotten his fabrics yet because he got ill and now he's in Australia, but I will be getting them.
Yeah, those fabrics were gorgeous. My goodness.
Oh, Rebecca, you do know how to make yo-yos. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. There you go, girl. Yeah, I know how to do those. I don't know how to put them all together to make something pretty, but I do know how to make.
That's easy. But even yo-yos, you can use them sew a button on, and you can make flowers. You can use it on all sorts of projects.
Yeah.
So you don't have to make a quilt.
Yeah, actually, I thought about doing that for Gwen Studios with their buttons. Was making, because I was trying to think of how I wanted to do my flowers, and then I ended up, doing something simple, that would be
with your hands.
Yeah. That would be easy to put together. Because actually, this project that I just did today, I haven't stamped since. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. It hurts too much to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's yucky. Whatever.
Oh, well, Lynn, I'm glad you're here. You're not late. We're just.
Oh no, we're just chatting.
We're chatting about quilts and yo-yos, and I showed my faux quilting book. Well, I just showed a couple of pages of it. I think there's 12 different quilt blocks, and at the end of that, it shows a bunch of projects.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Dorset buttons? No, Isabel, I have not heard of them.
Dorset.
Is that a brand or a certain kind of button?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I mean, I love buttons. I have got my grandmother's buttons.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I have tons of buttons in here. I have buttons up in my sewing room. I have buttons in cases.
Yeah. Well, I got some of Mom's. I didn't take them all, but I got some because, oh my gosh, she had so much.
Rebecca, they're awesome. Very old buttons.
Oh, hi, Rebecca.
Somebody post a picture in the Do You Love to Craft group so I can see what they are. Or are they just old buttons?
Oh.
I think it's a particular brand. Okay. It's how buttons were made originally. Check out Gina B on YouTube. Oh, they're made with embroidery floss. I do have some of those from my grandmother. They're black. And it looks like that they were, to me, I always thought maybe they were crocheted or something.
Mm-hmm.
But they're little round knob buttons. So I do have some, yes. Technique, not a brand. I'll have to see if I could learn how to make those.
Oh, made with embroidery floss.
That would be fun. Oh. Yeah, I'll have to remember to write that down because, yeah, that would be fun. And I love to try new things.
Yep. Well, and we have the velvet stamping too that we talked about last week that will be coming up.
Yep.
Sometime soon too, because we're going to do something with that.
So I was going to show you guys my stamps. The floss is wrapped around a big ring and then decorated inside. Oh, I don't have any of those.
The flosses?
Wow. And then it comes off the ring to make the button. Rebecca, you just Googled it. I'm going to have to Google it when we're done.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued. And I have plenty of floss.
So, I know, right?
I do.
That was the other thing that I did was the embroidery. I love doing that. Like I did my kids' stockings for Christmas and,
it stays on the ring like a wheel. Huh.
And the floss goes around.
So are they little plastic rings?
Huh. Well, there's the link.
I'm so tempted to click that link right now, Rebecca, but I won't.
She will go down the rabbit hole and we won't see her again for days.
You know, it will be a good way to relax.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah. Huh.
And I could see where, okay, so Rebecca Meyer is in here. I can see where Rebecca would know what they are because she does collage and she does all that beautiful fabric work. And she does beautiful stuff. So I can see why she knows what they are.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, going to have to look those up. So with my stamps, when I first came up with them and got the patent, in my mind, originally they were for quilting for people that didn't want to cut and sew everything. So you could, okay, I'm going to, so you could stamp out your whole pattern. And this is done on I tie-dyed the fabric with a yellow, and then I stamped it in pink. So you could just stamp over everything, and then you could quilt or not quilt it, depending upon the look you wanted. This one only has very, very little stitching. It's not every square, it's not every triangle, but yet the end result is very cute. So if you wanted to go very basic, like I made my mother a quilt like this, but it's a big giant quilt. And this quilt is one stamp and it's on printed fabric.
Oh, I love that.
So the stamps have a patent and there's no lip on them. So you're able to put them all right next to each other. Thank you, Rebecca. So you can stamp this, put another stamp, and then stamp the next one. So you keep your pattern totally consistent. What kind of ink do you use? You need to use pigment ink, Isabel. I know that Jacquard has a pigment ink. I used to have a line with Clear Snap, and then they went out of business.
Yeah.
But pigment ink, so like if you stamp it, then you can heat set it with an iron, and then it's machine washable. So if you're going to be using the quilts, you would want to do that. And then this one is done much the same way, but
I love that
this
one.
is a lot of different stamps.
That's so much fun.
And this was every color I had in my line with Clear Snap. So I used all the inks and all the stamps to create this. And this is a baby quilt size, but they go together so easy. And I'll show you when I open up one of the packages. One of the ladies at church taught a class on 9-patch. We made a pillow many years ago. That's a lot of work. Rebecca, it's not that much work because it's one piece of fabric. You're not sewing anything. I stamped this whole thing in an afternoon.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
It doesn't take long. Some of them take a long time. So I'll show you. Like some of them you have to think a little bit more. So like this one is, this is 2 stamps. So it's the square and the triangle. And then, so this is a 9-patch. And then I stenciled the alphabet inside every one of the squares.
I love that.
And I've long gotten past the fact that I think you have to hand quilt everything. And I brought this one in. You can see, well, maybe you can see better on this side. I brought this one in and actually had it machine quilted because I don't do that. So this is just a baby quilt again, an alphabet quilt, but the whole thing was stamped. This is my favorite, and I think maybe I've showed it before. So this one takes a long time. But this, again, like every single one of these blocks are a different pattern. And they all use the stamps.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, but you know, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's
this
so
one
beautiful.
is just a little bit bigger than, I mean, it's a big baby quilt. I mean, because it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 64 different blocks.
Oh, see?
And
that's beautiful.
but unless you look at it real close, I mean, you could think it's fabric. I don't know. Most fabric has more than one color. You know, it's not just one color on white. That quilt looks like a sampler. It is, Isabel. It is a sampler. I actually took a bigger block and did 4 blocks on one piece so that if something went wrong, I could throw that piece away. I mean, it wasn't one solid piece of fabric. So I'm going to put my camera down. I have to move my camera because I'm not sitting in my normal spot. Somebody wanted to see my room. I'll show my room. So it's messy. Well, I'm doing a lot because I am filling stamp orders over here. So I have all my stamps out. I'm filling orders. And then so that's where I usually am, because when I craft, I have to stand. I don't sit. So I never sit here to do a live, but I'm not crafting. So I figured it'd be fine. Plus that's all messy.
That's not too bad.
Well, it is, because that's all stuff for packaging my stamps on there.
Yeah.
Is what that is. That is all.
Well, that is pretty cluttered for you for sure, because you are, you know, such a clean, no, I don't want to say freak, but you know, you like everything
Oh, I'd
straight.
like to be clean.
Yeah.
But no, I do. I like I have to move my camera so that
There you go.
this out of the way and move this back. I had to, and then I have to unmirror it so that it makes sense to me. Okay, so these are my stamp sets. Let me show you. Okay, so like this is just little tiny mini rails. So that's three stamps, and then I have the 1-inch triangles and squares, and the 2-inch triangles and squares, and those were my original stamps. Those are the ones that we came out with first. And Unity Stamp Company is still making all of my stamps, so they're the same quality as they ever were. But I am packaging them and selling them directly now because it's a lot of work. I mean, like usually when they do a stamp set, it's so they have a plate and they might have 6 designs in one plate, but they take just one section of that and put it in a bag. Well, because mine is all these different patterns, they had to have everything in boxes, and then they would have to manually go through and take one of this and one of that and one, and it's a lot more work. And so they're still making them. I'm just selling them directly now. So with these ones, so if any of you haven't ever seen my stamps, they are made so there's no lip on them. Most stamps have a lip around them, and that's how they cut them. They just cut them around the design, and there's a little tiny lip. But mine are made without a lip so that you are able to put them right next to each other to create seamless backgrounds. So like you would ink it up and you could create seamless backgrounds. And you can put it, you know, you can peel this off and put it on an acrylic block. Most of the time I don't use a block. Because they butt up right next to each other, the block is in my way. But this way I'm able to stamp and pick it up and stamp and go seamlessly across. Although because you can see exactly where it is, once you stamp that, you can also line it up super easy. I'm in time that I saw some of your extra stuff. Thanks, Dorothy. So that's what they are. So there's a patent and there is no lip, so you're able to create seamless backgrounds and seamless designs. And that's why I call it faux quilting, you know, because you can create endless blocks of quilts. But you can also, I also have the rails, which is perfect for the rail fence or to create seamless backgrounds for cards. And this is like a little tiny project. So this is just a pin cushion with a pinwheel in the center. And then these are the 1-inch half squares. And I actually, when I did this, I made a very large block and then I cut this out because I didn't know what I was going to do because I demo it a lot. So I have lots of pieces of fabric with all these different designs. And I thought this was perfect to hand stitch and make a pin cushion. But not everybody likes fabric or does things with fabric. So you can do, this is a same pinwheel design with a 2-inch triangle And this one actually has 4 1-inch triangles to make a square. And I did attach these ones on an acrylic block, and I stamped it once and I turned it and stamped it a second time just to create this pinwheel pattern on paper. And then I attached it to a tile. And this one is just squares done the same way. It's done on a piece of paper and then attached to this tile, and then resin was put on top of it. The skinny ones would be great journal page border. Yes, Lynn, they would. Looks vintage. I think that's what you mean, Eileen, right? So then you can use these for cards. Like this one is just the 1-inch squares, and then it's machine stitched to give you that extra. Yeah. I know sometimes I type and it doesn't come out right. So this is with the rails. And then I just used a beautiful die to die cut that out. But this is just that rail pattern. And because they're don't have a lip, you're able to create that seamlessly. And then this one is with the rails too. And then it's embossed. And then a third one or a fourth one coming down here. This one's very similar, just with the rails. So there's tons of things you can do with them outside of fabric. This is just all the 1-inch squares. And then this one is the rails stamped and then stamped this way. So then you get that second pattern, because this is just the striped rail. So then you get that little checkerboard pattern in the corners. And this is just the 1-inch ones where it's embossed. I don't know if you can see that. Thanks, Eileen. And then this is just the 2-inch triangles. So it was stamped here and here, and then it was stamped here, like, so it was stamped and stamped, and then it was stamped to create that pattern. And this one is 2 2-inch squares. So I stamped it and stamped it. And you can leave these in place, and then you can put the 1-inch square there and there to create that pattern. So many possibilities. Yes, Lynn, there are amazing ideas for backgrounds. Where can they be purchased? Elizabeth, I'm going to be selling them directly on my site, and I'll put a link in here for that. Right now I'm filling orders for an event I did. And after I'm done, then I'll get them all up on my site. So here again, this is the pinwheel pattern, and then I put rhinestones with it, because with Rhinestone Genie, I have rhinestone patterns that go with these stamps. So this one is just, so I have a solid one also. So you can put down that solid color, and then you can stamp over it. And then stamp this, and then you can just keep going around to create that pinwheel pattern. And then I wanted to show, so here's the solid one. So it comes with a 2-inch solid square and half square triangle, so that you can add colors and dimension to them that way. And then I have some hexagons. So these are different in that when you first get them, you want to take a little Sharpie or something to mark it, because they pop out. So you have an outline and you have the hexagon. You can stamp it together as one stamp. If you have that little line there from your Sharpie, you can, because the pattern's not going to line up unless you know exactly where to put it back. So I think you can see my line from my Sharpie. I've used this one a lot, but it's right there. So you can line it back up because you don't want the diamonds going the wrong way.
I made a really great card.
Yeah,
with
you
that.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the lighted birthday card I think I did where I used it.
Beatrice, I could never find the tree stencils for the rhinestones. Rhinestone Genie has it on their site somewhere. I'll try and find it and send you a link, Beatrice. Otherwise, I'll just send it to you. But yeah, the hexagons. So you get 3 patterns and they come apart. So you get 6 stamps instead of just the 3, but you can use it together or separately. And then when I ordered, so I do a lot with the squares and the half square triangle. And when I ordered the 1-inch squares and triangles, they misunderstood. And they sent me actual triangles, which aren't a half square triangle. So I'm putting all 12 patterns in one set because they're small. But also, you can do a lot with these. It took me a while to figure it out. I'm not going to lie. So you can make a hexagon. I always have to think about it when I'm doing it. But you have to turn one each time because they are not, it is not an equal-sided triangle, which this is the kind of triangle I wanted, a half square. But I got to stop talking so I can think about what I'm doing here. It does go together like this, like that. Nope. Let me think about it. Like that. So this would make a hexagon too. Otherwise, you can just make diamonds with it, or you can make a cool border pattern by doing it this way. So lots of possibilities with this one. So instead of not using them, I thought, well, put them all together and they would make really cute backgrounds. But that would be cute in a journal too, if you stamp that across. And I don't think you guys can see, but you know, it's all the different patterns. And because they're red rubber, they really are deeply etched and they ink out really good. I'm going to bring Lisa back in and put my camera back up.
Oop, there I am.
There you are.
There I am.
Move that out of the way and then do this. But I just wanted to show you guys all the different patterns I had and stuff. So I brought Lisa in and not me. I got to bring us both in.
I was there.
It's not letting me bring both of us in. There we go.
What? There we are.
Yeah. The mini ones are cute. They are cute, Kaylin. So there'll be a new packaging, and they are made in the USA. And that's the reason I did not do a project today, because I have all of these that I was getting ready to ship. And it's been busy. I told them they'd be ready the middle of the month. My bags did not get here for packaging until Monday.
Yeah.
And I work for the city on Tuesdays. So
busy girl, I'm saying.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. What is the best media to stamp your patterns on? Wait, what is the best media to stamp your patterns on fabric? So the patterns. Okay, Dorothy, you need to use pigment ink. Clear Snap used to have a pigment ink of mine, but they went out of business a few years ago. But Jacquard has a pigment ink. Jacquard actually bought Colorbox, Clear Snap, which made my inks. So they have it. And so you need a pigment ink. I'm not sure who else has a pigment ink.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
But Jacquard, I have theirs. I've used it. It's very good. And so you stamp it, and then you have to heat set it. I use an iron. Some people throw it in the dryer.
Yep,
I feel better using an iron. That way I know for sure.
Yeah, I've done both when I've used them.
Yep. I mean, I have tried the dryer, but I like to iron it. But the good thing is, because it's a pigment ink, and I have done this at a trade show, when you stamp it down, because I wanted to show them that nothing is a mistake. So with pigment ink, you can stamp it. And if you haven't heat set it, you can take a little bit of soapy water and wash that right out of the fabric. So no worries. As long as you haven't heat set it, you can always fix it. Unity Stamps is in Minnesota. Unity Stamps, Kaylin, is still doing all of my backgrounds and my sentiments, but they are not doing my patented line anymore because it's a lot of work to put them all together. And but they're still making them for me. Can you spell out the name?
I'm looking.
Lynn just put Jacquard in there.
Okay, good.
Yep. Dorothy, Lynn just put it. She said, does Jacquard come in stamp pads? Yes. Yes, they have stamp pads. Isabel said VersaCraft ink can also be used on fabric.
Oh, I don't know who makes that.
But yes, as long as it is pigment and you can heat set it, and then it's washable.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have to worry if you were making an art quilt and you were never going to wash it.
Right.
But to be on the safe side. And pigment ink comes in so many beautiful colors.
Oh my gosh.
Pigment ink, it's a very wet ink. You can emboss with it too. Like if you have pigment inks and let's say you have purple, you could put clear embossing powder over it and it embosses purple because that purple comes through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I haven't used fabric inks or, pigment inks since Clear Snap went out because I use them all the time.
Right. Right.
So,
and that's why I'm using Jacquard now. And I love, well, it is, they bought Colorbox. So it is the same ink.
Same thing. Same ink.
Yep. But yeah, but you can emboss with it. Pigment ink, you can blend. It blends beautifully.
Oh, yes.
Because it's wet for so long. You're able to take your brushes and blend really well. I have black pigment ink all the time because I prefer to emboss my sentiments. Yep. Yep. And that works. Lynn, I have some shopping to do. Yes.
That's what I giggled about earlier.
Yes. But yeah, Jacquard, you can check out VersaCraft. I'm not sure who that is unless that is the brand, Isabel.
That's the brand. I don't know if it's the company name. I can't remember, but yeah, Versa Ink's got beautiful inks also.
Yeah. So
at least they did. I'm not sure if they still have them, but if Isabel mentioned it, then they're probably still in business.
Yeah.
I think I have some of their stuff still.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always mean anything because I have stuff from 20 years ago. So
but I have inks that are that old and they still work.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, so
heck yeah.
You
I
just
still
need,
have all of your color boxings.
I do too.
Yeah, I will. I can't
I
use
still
them.
use them.
Yeah, I can't because they're not in business, so we can't,
Oh, no, I use them for myself
Right,
when I'm
exactly.
playing with my stuff. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So make sure you like, share, and comment this video, because the winner next week will get a copy of my new full quilting book.
Yay.
Eileen, you use yours too. Eileen had inks with them too, and then they went out of business. How dare they, right?
Yep, I have Eileen's inks too.
I know. It's kind of like, because hers were pigment inks too. And,
Yeah.
We had one color that was the same. We both had a yellow, but otherwise, VersaFine Claire inks a lot for stamping and embossing. There is a good open time for embossing. I've heard
Yes.
of VersaFine Claire. Yes.
Yes.
I never did get rid of good craft supply as long as it works. Yeah, I don't either. Well, I might not use it for a project, especially for the magazine, because we want current things that people can find.
Right.
But I keep my stuff in, especially because I have so many grandkids. That they can play with it, and then I don't have to worry. Boo, yes, Eileen. Boo, they went out of business. It just didn't seem fair.
I was very upset when they went out of business. I was like calling April going, tell me this is not true.
Well, because I had stamps with them and stencils with them. But now Stencil Girl does my stencils, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And then Art Foamies picked up my stamps. So
I did projects for them. I didn't, I didn't have a line with them, but yeah, I did projects with them and taught workshops with them. So yeah, I was devastated.
It was sad when they went out, Eileen.
It was. We've been using them for so many years, and I loved using them to emboss, and I love to I'm like Becca. I love to emboss. I just don't do it so much anymore, because now it's just like, okay, we got to figure out the idea and get it done before next week. So
VersaFine Claire inks are pigment and they work on fabric. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. I'll have to check those out. But I really like Jacquard now. So
well, they have such fabulous products anyways.
They do. They have so many great products. Yeah.
Right.
So you find a company that has lots of good stuff and kind of stick with them.
If you can, heck yeah.
Yeah. So we have 2 winners to announce from last week.
Yep.
I just bought one of your Stencil Girl stencils from a local independent craft retailer. Thank you, Isabel. Oh, Rebecca says Sukanico also has pigment inks. Yes, they do.
I forgot about them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are really nice too.
I forgot. See, we haven't used them in such a long time.
No, I haven't had to buy ink.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, when I turn my camera for you guys, I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of ink, and that's not all of it.
Oh, Lord.
But, I mean.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. I think most crafters have a lot of stuff.
Isabel, which stencil did you get? Let me know.
Oh, yeah.
Almost ready for our phone call. Oh, are you talking to Kaylin, Gina?
Oh, geez.
Okay, so we have 2 winners from last week.
Yes. Okay, so
Lisa has them.
I don't know. This is going again. Who knows?
Drum roll.
Okay, so this is for Gwen Studios from last week, because I did this adorable button.
So cute.
Little button centerpiece thingy. So this was a new person, because I don't know who this is, but it's Tisha Hoffman.
Yay,
yeah, I don't know who it is, but yes, thanks for sharing, and yes, you won. And then the other one was Real Leather, and for yours, and I don't see her in here, but Joni Miller.
Okay,
Been
congratulations,
in the last
Joni.
couple weeks, I think. So yes, real leather for Joni Miller. So congratulations, ladies. I will be in contact with you. And Amy, I know that you got my message because I saw your response pop up on my screen. So I will get that taken care of for you in the next couple of days, I promise.
Isabel, I can't remember the name, but it looks like it has different patchwork rails. Yes, I did do some patchwork rails with Stencil Girl. They turn out really nice too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So congratulations,
Yes.
girls.
Congratulations to the winners. And like, share, and comment this video and Lisa's video from earlier to enter for next week.
Yep. Because I made that pretty card.
Oh, that card is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
I was thinking when you were making it, we should give the card away.
We can do that.
I hate to give your card away.
No, I mean, I have two.
You made two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have two.
That would be a great giveaway. What do you guys think? Let us know. I mean, because sometimes I think when we do projects, you especially, you always make two. I don't necessarily, because I wing things.
I don't wing. Not a good winger.
So I might just have one, or I might finish later.
Yeah.
But I show more techniques
Yes.
than anything else because I'm a technique girl. But no, when you were making it, I thought, oh, that'd be a good giveaway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's already done. I mean, you know, it's the same exact. The only difference is the bow.
Yeah.
You know,
Eileen, haha, winger here.
Eileen, yeah, I know you are, Eileen. Both of you.
We are just too much alike.
Yes, you are. And you and I are like complete opposites in that respect. Yeah, I am not a good by the seat kind of gal. I get too flustered. You know, have you ever seen Family Feud? You know, with the game show. And you know, at the end they do the thing for the $20,000 where they have to name so many, you know, questions. I just look at Richard, if he's watching, I go, oh no, I would not be able to do that. It'd be too much pressure. I would be flipping out going, no, don't put me on the spot. Such an idiot.
No, everybody, you know, is different.
I do what works for me.
I mean, and it works very well for you. Rebecca, I love Family Feud. The original with Richard Dawson is better. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I don't think I've really ever watched the new one, but yeah, Richard Dawson.
Oh, he was so wonderful. I loved him.
Yeah.
Oh God, now we're aging out.
It's good. We're all different. Yes, Eileen, it is.
Eileen, you don't have a space bar on your
followers. Maybe she's talking into her phone. Sometimes, you know. No, but she's on her computer. Maybe she's looking from her phone. I was thinking. Because,
I don't know. I know that I speak Anne. So if I speak Anne, I'm sure I can speak Eileen too. Because sometimes Anne, I just get tidbits. This is what you need. Or
if I message her and talk into my phone and don't look to make sure, and then I'll look at it and go, oh, why do they put in words you don't say? Exactly. Or why do they combine that word? You know,
and that's why
the words.
And that's why I know. That's why I speak Anne.
Yes, you do.
Because I get it.
Amy, we all have things we're better at. True.
Yep.
True. I believe that was
ma'am.
Sorry, my space bar is messed up. I thought you got a new computer, Eileen.
Is it really? I was just teasing.
But she just got a new computer.
Uh-oh. Oh, God. Don't talk to me about new computers. Anne and I were just going on about that. I don't want to dish out $3,000 for a new computer. Oh.
Wow. I told you how to fix that.
Yeah, I got to fix it or spend the money and be very upset. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Oh boy.
thank you all for coming, even though I didn't do a project. I was just sharing, but
That's all right.
I appreciate it. And it's been fun.
We love these kind of
Predictive
chats.
texting can throw up some pretty interesting combinations. So true.
I can always, with Tina, my sister-in-law, I can always tell when she doesn't have her glasses on because, I'll see a text message and I'll go, yeah, okay, she didn't have her glasses on for that because the words would be, oh, like, oh, well.
Well,
We
yes.
what we do.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it so much.
Yes.
So much. We will be back next week. It is the fourth Wednesday of the month, and we usually do an interview, but because I did so many interviews when I was gone,
Yeah, because I was
we're
out.
doing projects next week.
Yes. So we're going to do a project.
So we're each going to do a project.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be back at noon and 2:00 Central Time.
Yes.
And Isabel, I'm glad that you last week I know we were off because of the time change. So I'm glad you know.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I'm still complaining about the time change to my husband. Rich is just like, get over it already.
Maybe because I don't sleep. It doesn't affect me.
Probably you don't.
It's probably why I'm so red today, too.
Oh
I've been up since 2:30, girls.
Yeah, insanity.
Oh,
see?
I did not do that.
That is a big thumbs up for you. See? All right, you guys have a great week. We will see you all next week. Again, thank you
some
for
time to craft.
Yep, because it's good for your soul. It really is. All right, you guys, take care.